Hi students, in this video, we will review questions number 108 to 111 in the 2024 SHSAT practice exam. Grab a notebook and pencil and let's get started. Question number 108. At a carnival, visitors can win a prize if an employee cannot correctly guess their age. The employee records the first 15 ages that he guesses one Saturday. The box plot shown below displays data about the ages he recorded. What is the interquartile range of the box plot? Let's review the definition of the interquartile range. When looking at a box plot, we have 5 key data points that we need to be mindful of. This first tick mark right here represents the smallest number in the data set. And this tick mark right here represents the largest number in the data set. So I know that 7 is the smallest and 18 is the largest. The first vertical line in the box is called the first quartile. Okay, this is our first quartile. It's also the median of the first half of the data set. This number right here, which is 17, is considered the third quartile, which is the median of the second half of the data set. Technically, the line in the middle is considered the second quartile, but we also refer to it as the median. When calculating the interquartile range, we would subtract the first quartile from the third quartile. So we have third quartile minus first quartile. Let's see what we have. That is 17 minus 8. So the interquartile range is 9. The correct answer is choice F. Number 109. Vicente and Carla each ran 8 laps around a track. They started at the same time and place. If Vicente ran 1.5 times as fast as Carla, how many laps did Carla have left to finish when Vicente finished his 8th lap? Let's use some numbers that will help us to understand what's happening in this problem. Let's say Carla takes 1 hour to finish a lap, which obviously that's an exceptional amount of time, but we're just using this as an example. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. If Vicente ran 1.5 times as fast as Carla, we will take 60 and divide by 1.5. That'll give us 40 minutes. So it takes Carla 60 minutes to finish 1 lap, but it takes Vicente only 40 minutes to finish 1 lap. According to our example, it will take Carla 60 minutes times 8 laps, which is 480 minutes to finish her laps in total. It will take Vicente 40 times 8, which is 320 minutes to finish his laps in total. If we subtract these two quantities, 480 minus 320 minutes is 160 minutes. Remember, 60 minutes represents 1 hour, which for Carla is 1 lap. So we need to identify how many 60 minutes, which is basically how many laps, can divide into 160 minutes. 160 divided by 60 is going to simplify to 2 and 4/6, which is the same thing as 2 and 2/3. So Carla still has 2 and 2/3 laps left to finish. B is the correct answer. Number 110. At West College, students are randomly assigned to one of 20 dormitories and one of 6 dining rooms. Carlene likes 6 of the dormitories and 2 of the dining rooms. What is the probability that she is assigned to both a dormitory and a dining room that she likes? Since Carlene likes 6 out of the 20 dormitories, we're going to multiply that by 2 out of the 6 dining rooms. So basically the probability of success for her is 6 out of 20 and 2 out of 6. The probability of her getting both of these outcomes, we're simply going to use the counting principle and multiply it. 6 out of 20 times 2 out of 6 will be our answer. But you know I love to cancel out first. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 20 divided by 2 is 10, and 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. So our final answer here is 1/10. We know that 1/10 is equivalent to 10%. So the correct answer is choice E. Number 111. A train travels 2,200 miles from Phoenix to New York City. The train covers the first 240 miles in 5 hours. If the train continues to travel at this rate, how many more hours will it take to reach New York City? Round your answer to the nearest whole hour. For this type of problem, I like to use a formula called distance equals rate times time. And so far, we're given the distance and the time for the first part of the trip. So 240 equals rate, which we're trying to figure out, times 5 hours. I will divide both sides of this equation by 5. So we know that the rate is 48 miles per hour. 24 divided by 5 is 4, remainder 4, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. Now that we know the rate, we can identify the total time for the trip. Since the total distance for the trip is 2,200 miles, we can set that equal to our rate, which is 48 miles per hour, times the total time. Now we will divide both sides of this equation by 48. I'll start by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 4. 48 divided by 4 is 12. And now we have 2,200 divided by 4. 22 divided by 4 is 5, and our remainder is 2. And 20 divided by 4 is also 5. Finally, 0 divided by 4 is 0. So we just need to figure out what's 550 divided by 12. 55 divided by 12 is 4, and the remainder is 7. And 70 divided by 12 is 5 with a remainder of 10. So the total trip will take 45 and 10/12 hours. That is our total time. But let's take a look at the question. How many more hours will it take to reach New York City? So 5 hours has already elapsed. Let's subtract 5 hours from our final time. So if we have 45 and 10/12 minus 5 hours, we have 40 and 10/12 hours. But the problem does tell us to round the final answer to the nearest whole hour. So 40 and 10/12 rounded to the nearest hour is 41 hours. So the correct answer is choice D. If you learned something in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.